In 2016, the General Youth Division made two great contributions to Bible quizzing. First, they doubled the amount of each of the scholarships that the students received for being one of the top quizzers at Bible Quizzing Nationals. That's $6,000 that the Youth Division is now going to give quizzers to have their lives changed through scholarships to AYC or Bible College. The second thing that they did is that they asked the Bible quizzing leadership an advice to make sure that the most deserving quizzers were recognized and awarded. Now, if you were handing out 60 photos of Benjamin Franklin, you'd want to double check that the most deserving students were getting awarded as well. Unless you worked at a Benjamin Franklin museum, and then you probably would be forced to hand them to everyone. But that's beside the point. After much discussion and advice from the Bible quizzing leadership, the percentage contribution method was decided to be the most accurate to award students at Extravaganza and NABQT while still keeping the rules for quizzing exactly the same. So what is percentage contribution? Percentage contribution looks at each Bible quizzer's contribution to an individual quiz and asks, while the quiz was still competitive, which quizzer contributed the most? Now, for those new to quizzing, here's a little background. In every quiz, there is a moment where one team officially has enough points that they have mathematically won. Now, sometimes this doesn't happen until after the very last question in some very good quizzes, and also in some very bad quizzes. Now, let's say that after question 17, Team A has 150 points and Team B has 40 points. Since there are only three 30-point questions left, that's 90 points for those bad at math, Team A has mathematically won. It's a little bit like playing chess. Sure, there may be pieces left on the board, but the game is over once you're in checkmate. So when this happens in quizzing, the game is locked or iced. Up to this point in the quiz, all coaches are encouraging their quizzers to do their very best to compete within their team strategy. However, after it's locked, this is when many coaching strategies change. Some coaches feel that winning the quiz was what they came to do, and they ask their quizzers to not answer any more questions. Some coaches feel that quizzers need to be trying their hardest on every single question, regardless of whether it helps them to win or not. And some coaches are in the middle, where they tell their kids to hit but slower than normal and in a way that isn't going to hurt the team. However, when the all-tournament team is given, it's given to all quizzers equally, no matter what their coach's strategy after the quiz was locked was. Here's where percentage contribution makes the biggest difference. It measures how much did a particular quizzer contribute before the checkmate occurred. If a quizzer scored 120 points and there were 240 points available when the quiz was locked, the quizzer scored an amazing 50% of all the points available. That quizzer would have a percentage contribution of 50. So let's look at an example. Amanda and Chad are both last year quizzers and are quizzing against each other in the finals. They have the exact same personal scores up to this point, so the quiz will determine who will be awarded the top quizzer in the nation. After question 20, Chad has 160 points and Amanda has 120 points. So who deserves to be the top quizzer of the tournament? Well, let's take a deeper look. Chad got one 10-point question and then beat Amanda to questions 9 and 10. Then Amanda took off and correctly answered 6 straight 20-point questions, locking the quiz after question 16. Thanks to some help from her 10-point quizzer. Amanda obviously had a better quiz and would objectively be the top quizzer. However, after question 16, Amanda's coach calls a timeout and asks her team not to hit. Then Chad correctly answers questions 17 through 20 for 110 points. These questions weren't competitive, but he still ends up with a total of 160 points after question 20. So which quizzer deserves to be awarded the top quizzer? Using percentage contribution, Amanda receives 120 points out of the 240 available at the quiz lock. That's a PC of 50. Chad got 50 points out of the 240 available for a PC of 20.8. Now, while both are great quizzers, using percentage contribution, Amanda would receive recognition as having contributed the most of any quizzer in the tournament. Now, it's good to note that this will be applicable for senior national tournaments such as Extravaganza or NABQT. Districts will have the choice to adopt this. We hope this helps explain the process, and we look forward to seeing you at Extravaganza and Nationals.